Travis Wayne Goodsill. Grim morning for news. First off, nothing from Judge Oberg. That doesn't mean she still hasn't filed. It could mean that the clerks are purposely going slow in processing them. I won't know for sure until after midnight tonight. Yeah, because they should have it done before they end and go home for today. So it's not like the judge would file it after today. She could, but it'll mean that she didn't file on Friday after the clerks left. I don't know how well the newest videos I did this morning are doing, but yeah, I'm the guy who exposed the whole plot to take over America that involves the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints as part of the takeover coup d'etat of America. The Book of Mormon gave us the clues. We knew it all along. If we were just paying attention as we were told to do. The Navajo Nation, they're a part of Utah as well. And Utah is not including their numbers on our coronavirus stats. As we are going up, up, up. I reported on the Daybells this morning, the tragic news of how the children were murdered. They desecrated their bodies. There are no words that could be allowed to be said with the censorship of YouTube requiring bleeping. But they found, as I'm looking here on KUTV's site, that Tammy Daybell, the wife of Chad Daybell, was still alive when the children's remains were buried on their house property in the backyard. So now the question is, was she murdered? Did she just die of natural causes? Or was she a part of it? And it wouldn't be too surprising that she would have been a part of it, knowing Mormons. Polygamy. But we don't know. They are opening an investigation as to how she died, to re-examine the coroner's report. If they find it was natural causes, then that now presents a whole bunch of other questions. Did she know, or was she silenced? But yeah, sad news. Salt Lake cops are gunning down innocent civilians. That's on the rise here in Utah. Like I said, I exposed the whole plot. And that was my bombshell filing on the weekend of the 6th and 7th of June. And I've been posting all about it. The inverted pentagram, guys. That's the sign. And so the Mormon Evil also crept up in regards to the Salt Lake City mural of George Floyd. they defaced it. And it wasn't with spray paint. It was with black tar. My parents bought the book from Disney, Brer Rabbit and the Tar Baby. So I never knew it was associated with blacks as a racist process. And I remember seeing on the Sunday night Disney channel or show, because I didn't have cable back then. In my later teen years, I think the Playboy channel came out. It was fuzzy, but you can get it on the, let's see, I think it was UHF channels. It was VHF and UHF, something like that. But they had the cartoon version of it on the shows, and so I've not seen it around, and I was kind of wondering, I wonder what happened to it. Come to find out, I was faced with racist education, as Tar Baby was referring to a black child, and that's why Disney is not releasing it anymore. And so to have black tar, put on the mural of George Floyd, it's just, again, you go into shock silence as to the atrocity of hatred of Mormons. I saw ABC4 News Utah's YouTube video about Friday's Juneteenth, and again, I never knew about it. Nobody ever told me what it was, as I live and grew up in mostly white neighborhoods. And so, yeah, whites don't know Juneteenth because we are purposely kept from knowing it by our white leaders. And so, yeah, with all this that's going on, Utah made sure, we're being taught about Juneteenth. John Oliver had a thing about that on his segment last night, learning about it for the first time. But yeah, I'm trying to tell you guys, that's what the symbols are all about. They are symbols of hate, because Lucifer is a god of hate. He's a god of racism. He's a god of sexism. He's a god of bigotry. He despises the poor. And that's their symbol. And this comes from the Illuminati. I've done the church history videos for you. I've published the church history book. It needs to be edited, as I did the video playlist for Cooper Smith Shop and Harmony, Pennsylvania. But there's others that I've slipped in with the real LDS history playlist. The real history is just so expansive. It just branches out in so many different areas. But yeah, simply put, Illuminati got formed specifically to destroy the world. And they infiltrated the Scottish Rites Masons, of which Brigham Young's family and Kimball's family were a part of. They found out that the Smiths, who were in the York Masons, had prevented the Scottish Rites from their destruction of America by putting a king on the throne in 1826. So they found their organization, found out it was them because of the Book of Mormon. The Book of Mormon exposed them, even though it was intended to be a warning against the Scottish Rites Illuminati. And so they pretended to be interested in the church. They served missions to convert all the other Scottish Rites Illuminati. They called themselves the Danites, the judges. So they were going to judge the church for what they had done in stopping them in 1826. And so yeah, I get a death threat from a Danite, John D. Lee, involved in the Mountain Meadows Massacre, the murder of children and women and fathers, just trying to find a place of land that they can call their own and live the American dream. And John D. Lee, a Danite of Brigham Young's Mormonism, just slaughtered them. And Brigham Young didn't get held accountable for it, although he died the same year that John D. Lee was executed, which leads me to question that. But after murdering Joseph Smith, Brigham Young put the inverted pentagram on the Nauvoo temple and had it dedicated on the anniversary of the Illuminati on May 1st. It's also the date when Governor Herbert said, "Hey, we're going back to work. We're going to start opening. Get you guys off welfare. You lazy bums. We're the lazy bums. You are supposed to pay us because we're your slave owners." That's where slavery comes from. The Illuminati, the Scottish Rites Masons, the Confederates. But it's been going on long before that as well. And so the Seagull Gate says they took over the government. It was by the grandson of Brigham Young, and so it was much later. But that's the symbol. We took over the government. And so they let the Illuminati, Scottish Rites Illuminati, and at that point also the Confederate South, that they are on their side. They are the religion, the doctrine of Lucifer, as Albert Pike called it in his letter to Giuseppe Mazzini. And then Brigham Young put the inverted pentagram on the doors of the Salt Lake Temple, as all of us who go through that temple for sealings have our pictures taken at that door. The signs were there. Helaman 6. We were warned. The secret Gadianton band. And that's a code. It's a secret Illuminati who want to put a king on the throne. They have their covenants with secret signs of the inverted pentagram and secret words as part of their covenants, so that they can distinguish a brother from another and commit murder and get away with it. And that's why my life is in danger, because I've revealed the secret sign and the secret words, and I did it in the federal court filing, and that's why everybody's shocked. The church is shocked, the clerks are shocked, the lawyers are shocked, the judge is shocked. Because how do they dismiss my case now that I've exposed them? Because if they dismiss it now, they brand themselves as traitors. Because that's who they are. I've done the videos this morning. The American flag has the pentagram pointing up, but the GOP points it down to let the whole Illuminati group know that the GOP are them. They've taken over the GOP party and have now taken over the government, putting their puppet king, like King Zedekiah of Babylon, on the throne of Jerusalem, the new Jerusalem in America. And if you didn't know, the Russian seal is the two eagles of the Scottish Rites, the 33rd degree Masons. Whereas the York Rites, the seventh, or the highest ranking, is the Knights Templar. And the buried plates of gold with Egyptian writing on it. That's why the Book of Mormon was said to have been buried plates of gold with Egyptian writing on it. They got it from the Knights Templar of the York Masons. And so when Nephi goes and builds the Temple of Solomon, that's the Temple of Solomon and the Passion Play of the Masons with Hiram Abiff. Hiram Smith was named for that purpose. And so Mormons, I've been raised up to believe that I was going to save America, that the Constitution would one day be in jeopardy, and that I would be involved in saving America, saving the Constitution. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever anticipate the worst case scenario, that I was in the Church of Lucifer, that was intent on destroying America, destroying the Constitution, taking away agency of life, liberty, and property, guaranteed as rights in the Constitution. Never in my wildest dreams did I believe that I was a part of a criminal organization that murders to get gain as master mayhans. And so yeah, you can imagine I'm a little upset.